Elias Vorn had never expected a mission to feel so empty. He floated outside the derelict station, staring at its jagged silhouette against the dark stretch of space. The station was enormous, larger than any human ship he had ever seen. Its surface was pockmarked with damage, panels missing, lights long extinguished. Yet, there was something magnetic about it. A silent promise that secrets waited inside. Elias's heart beat faster. He was not just an engineer. He was a problem solver. One of the best humans could offer. The Galactic Union had sent him here because they knew only a mind like his could make sense of alien technology. Most humans would have turned away at the sight of this abandoned giant. But Elias saw opportunity. He adjusted his suit and activated the thrusters on his small shuttle. The docking bay doors, corroded and jammed, took a long time to respond. Sparks flew from the edges as if the station resented his intrusion. Finally, with a low hum and a screech of metal, the bay accepted him. Inside, the station was a labyrinth of shadows and silence. Hallways stretched endlessly, broken lights flickering weakly. Dust floated in zero gravity, glittering like tiny stars around him. Every step of his boots echoed through the corridors, each sound swallowed by the vast emptiness. Elias activated his portable scanner. The readings were confusing. Life signs were absent. Systems appeared offline, yet there were faint pulses in the energy core, suggesting that something still lived inside the station. "Interesting," he muttered. "It's not dead, just sleeping, or hiding." As he walked further, his suit sensors triggered an alert. Life support systems were unstable, oxygen levels dropping slightly, power surges fluctuating. Elias frowned. "Not ideal," he said aloud. He checked the central console nearby, a bank of alien machinery with unfamiliar symbols glowing dimly. Touching it caused a spark, and the screen flickered. Then, a low rumble shook the floor. Instinctively, Elias grabbed a handhold. A section of the hallway collapsed behind him, falling into the darkness. Dust clouds enveloped him, and he coughed through his mask. He realized then that the station was not just abandoned, it was dangerous. He moved cautiously, scanning every doorway and corner. In one chamber, he found the remains of a research lab. Alien instruments floated in the zero-gravity air. Some shattered, some still glowing faintly. He recognized some tools from descriptions in the Union archives, but most were unlike anything he had seen. He reached out to examine a console. Its interface pulsed under his touch. The moment he connected his suit to it, lights surged across the room, and a holographic display flickered to life. Images of alien beings flashed in front of him, tall, slender creatures with multiple limbs and glowing eyes. The station's AI, or what he assumed was the AI, activated briefly, projecting scenes of experiments and research he could not fully understand. Then the display shut down, leaving him in darkness again. Suddenly, alarms blared. Red lights flooded the hallways. Elias's scanner went wild. Security drones, long dormant, hummed to life. They were small, sleek machines, their shapes designed for efficiency, not beauty. Their sensors glowed as they recognized him as an intruder. Elias's mind raced. He had studied alien machines, but these were adaptive. They adjusted their patterns with every move he made. Using his knowledge of mechanical systems, he threw a small magnetic pulse device, temporarily confusing their sensors. The drones stalled, giving him a narrow path to escape deeper into the station. As he ran, he realized that the station itself seemed alive. Doors opened and closed without visible triggers. Lights shifted as if observing him. The walls vibrated subtly. It was almost as if the station was testing him, challenging him to survive. He reached a central corridor leading to the station's core. The pathway was blocked by a collapsed section of metal. Elias knelt, examining the debris. There was no time for hesitation. He activated his cutting tool, and sparks flew as the plasma blade sliced through the metal. Minutes felt like hours. Finally, he cleared enough space to squeeze through. The deeper he went, the more alien the station became. Rooms were filled with strange machinery, tubes carrying glowing liquids, and control panels with symbols that seemed to rearrange themselves when he looked away. Despite the confusion, Elias noticed patterns, regularities in the chaos that a human mind could exploit. He paused before a large door, reinforced with metal bands that had survived time. He placed his hands on a panel beside it, trying to interface with the alien system. Static ran through the console, and a voice, mechanical but with a strange tone, spoke in an unknown language. Elias did not understand the words, but he felt the intent. It was a warning. Ignoring it, he tried another approach. He focused on logic, rather than language, pressing sequences that matched the patterns he had observed. Slowly, the door responded. Hydraulic systems groaned as the massive entrance slid open. Elias stepped inside. The room beyond was the station's central hub. Here, the heart of the station pulsed faintly. Light spilling from the energy core. Panels and conduits connected to it like veins. Elias could feel the station's power, chaotic yet alive. He approached cautiously, aware that a single mistake could trigger a catastrophic failure. His scanner beeped frantically. The energy core was unstable. Radiation readings spiked. If he stayed too long, the station could collapse around him. Yet, he could not leave without understanding it. Humans had an instinct for survival, but they also had an instinct to solve the impossible. Elias touched a panel. Sparks ran along the surface. Systems flickered, and the AI projected another hologram, this one showing a simulation of the station's collapse. Drones swarmed, energy exploded, and the structure fell apart. Elias understood. The station was trapped in a cycle of failure, repeating endlessly until someone intervened. He swallowed hard. Fear pressed against him, but he pushed forward. Using his engineering tools, he began analyzing the energy core. Alien logic intertwined with human intuition. Every adjustment he made was small, redirecting power, stabilizing conduits, recalibrating sensors. Slowly, the core's pulsing became steadier. The station shuddered, as if reacting to his actions. Then, a surge hit. The room shook violently. Elias was thrown to the floor, his suit alarms blaring. A massive panel cracked above him, falling mere inches away. He rolled aside, heart pounding, and fought to regain control. "Not dead yet," he muttered. "Let's keep it that way." As he worked, he realized something remarkable. The station's AI was not hostile, it was curious. Every adjustment he made seemed to be acknowledged by subtle changes in the environment. Lights flickered in patterns that resembled recognition. Systems that had been locked for centuries responded to human ingenuity. Hours passed, though it felt like days. Elias was exhausted, but he could not stop. He had a sense of purpose. A mission beyond survival. To understand this alien marvel, to tame its chaos, and perhaps to save it from destruction. Finally, by combining alien systems with human engineering, he managed a breakthrough. The energy core stabilized. Alarms ceased. Drones powered down, their glowing sensors dimming. The station hummed with renewed life. Not violent, but controlled. Elias slumped against a console, breathing heavily, awe in his eyes. He realized the truth. Humans were underestimated in the galaxy, not because of weakness, but because no one expected their combination of curiosity, ingenuity, and persistence. He was proof that a human could survive where others would fail and maybe, just maybe, restore life where it had long been thought impossible. Elias looked around the hub, now alive with a gentle hum of power. Outside, the stars shone indifferent, vast, and silent. But here, in this abandoned station, human skill had made a difference. He knew this was only the beginning. The real challenge lay ahead, in understanding the station fully and facing the threats still lurking within. He smiled faintly. For the first time in a long while, he felt truly alive, and the station seemed to agree. Elias Vorn had survived the station's first test, but he knew the real challenge had only begun. The central hub hummed steadily now, its energy core stabilized for the first time in decades. Yet the station was far from fully operational. Hallways still groaned, systems flickered, and some areas were completely dark. He took a deep breath and prepared for the next step. He needed to understand the station, not just survive it. Elias activated his portable scanner and began mapping the surrounding areas. Each corridor revealed more of the station's secrets. Laboratories filled with alien devices, storage rooms with floating containers of glowing liquids, and observation decks overlooking the void of space. The more he explored, the more he realized how advanced the alien technology truly was. Despite its age and damage, the station had been designed for efficiency and adaptability. Systems were interconnected, responding dynamically to changes. Yet many of the mechanisms were fragile now, damaged by time or neglect. Elias understood that he had to work quickly and carefully. One wrong move could destabilize the entire structure. He decided to start with the secondary power systems. If he could stabilize them, the station would regain basic functions, making further repairs easier. The control panel before him was complicated, filled with symbols and lights he didn't fully understand. But Elias approached it like any human engineer would. He looked for patterns. He noticed sequences that repeated, circuits that mirrored one another. Using logic and trial and error, he began rerouting power, adjusting connections, and bypassing damaged nodes. Hours passed. Sweat built up inside his suit. But Elias persisted. Slowly, systems that had been dormant for centuries flickered to life. Lights glowed steadily. Environmental controls activated, and the soft hum of machinery filled the hallways. Even the drones that had once attacked him now moved calmly, their sensors scanning the environment without hostility. Elias realized that the station was starting to accept him. While inspecting the labs, he discovered data storage units still active. He carefully interfaced his tools with them, extracting information about the station's past. Holographic images of the alien crew appeared, showing experiments on energy manipulation, deep space exploration, and autonomous systems. Elias was fascinated. The aliens had been brilliant, but something had gone wrong. Their self-replicating energy systems had spiraled out of control, forcing them to abandon the station. "This is huge," Elias whispered. They were on the edge of something incredible. He studied the energy cores more closely. The self-replicating system was unstable but not beyond repair. If he could stabilize it, the station could function safely, and its knowledge could be preserved. Elias worked meticulously, combining alien design with human ingenuity. He created stabilizing circuits, reinforced the energy conduits, and introduced feedback controls to prevent runaway reactions. As he worked, he noticed subtle responses from the station. Lights pulsed in patterns that seemed almost like communication. Doors opened automatically to guide him to critical systems. Even the drones appeared to observe him without interference. Elias realized that the station's AI, or what remained of it, was testing him, measuring his skill, and possibly adapting to his methods. One corridor led him to the station's observation deck. From here, he could see the stars stretched across the void, glittering like diamonds. For a moment, he paused to reflect. He felt small in the vastness of space, yet powerful because of his ability to influence this incredible alien structure. It was a reminder of what humanity could achieve. Even alone, they could tackle challenges others deemed impossible. Elias returned to the hub and began repairing the central communications system. If he could restore it, he might contact the Galactic Union, or even other stations nearby. But the system had been damaged severely. Circuits were fried, components missing, and alien encryption made interfacing nearly impossible. Elias worked for hours, testing one solution after another, modifying alien components with human ingenuity. Finally, he succeeded. The system powered up, sending a weak but detectable signal. It was a small victory, but it meant that the station could once again send messages beyond its walls. Elias allowed himself a brief smile. Next, he focused on the station's environmental systems. Many sections were uninhabitable due to failing oxygen and temperature control. Using portable tools, he repaired pumps, replaced filters, and recalibrated sensors. Slowly, hallways that had been freezing or suffocating became livable. Even small plants stored in the observation modules began to revive, responding to the renewed environmental control. Despite his progress, Elias knew the real test awaited in the energy core room. The self-replicating energy was powerful and unpredictable. A single miscalculation could trigger a cascade that might destroy the station, or worse, harm him. He prepared carefully, triple-checking all his calculations and equipment. When he entered the core room, he felt the energy thrumming around him. It was alive, pulsing with a rhythm he could almost feel in his chest. He placed his hands on the console and began integrating his modifications into the alien systems. Slowly, the chaos began to settle. The energy stabilized, responding to his adjustments. Lights across the hub brightened as power flowed evenly. Suddenly, the room shuddered. A section of the core fluctuated violently, threatening to overload. Elias acted quickly, diverting energy through emergency conduits and reinforcing the containment systems. Sweat ran down his face, and his heart pounded, but he did not panic. Each adjustment was precise, calculated, a combination of human creativity and careful observation. Minutes felt like hours, but finally, the core stabilized completely. The station hummed in harmony. Elias could feel it, almost like the station was breathing again. The drones moved calmly around him, lights glowed steadily, and every system responded predictably. For the first time in centuries, the station was fully functional. Elias allowed himself a moment of quiet pride. He had not only survived the station, he had restored it. But he knew this was only part of the challenge. The station contained knowledge far beyond human understanding. To fully unlock it, he would need to interface directly with the AI. The remnants of the alien crew's intelligence embedded within the systems. He approached the central AI console. Symbols shifted as he drew near, as if the station was aware of his presence. Elias began deciphering the interface, combining logic, intuition, and trial and error. Slowly, a dialogue emerged, not in words, but in patterns, pulses, and signals. Elias responded, adjusting systems, offering stabilizing solutions, and demonstrating his understanding of the station's logic. Hours turned into a cycle of interaction. The station presented challenges, testing his reasoning and adaptability. Each time, Elias found solutions that harmonized human ingenuity with alien design, and each time, the station responded, growing more stable, more capable, more alive. Finally, after what felt like days, the AI accepted his modifications. The station's core systems were not just stabilized, they were improved. Energy flowed efficiently, drones operated seamlessly, and environmental systems maintained perfect conditions. The alien knowledge archives were fully accessible, containing information about advanced energy manipulation, star travel, and autonomous systems. Elias stood back, exhausted but elated. He had faced near death, navigated alien technology, and restored a station that had been lost to time. More importantly, he had proven the strength of human intelligence, creativity, and persistence. Where aliens had failed, a human had succeeded. Yet even in his triumph, he felt a new awareness. Restoring the station was only the beginning. The knowledge contained within could change human understanding of technology, space, and energy itself. But it also carried responsibility. Misuse could be catastrophic. Elias understood that humanity had a chance not just to inherit alien technology, but to wield it wisely. He paused in the hub, watching the lights stabilize, feeling the hum of the systems as if the station itself acknowledged his work. It was more than just machinery. It was alive in a way, responsive to intelligence, capable of growth, and he, a single human engineer, had become its custodian. For the first time, Elias allowed himself to imagine the possibilities. Humanity could explore new systems, learn from alien designs, and expand their understanding of the universe. The station was a symbol of what humans could achieve, not just survival, but mastery through ingenuity, courage, and persistence. He set up monitoring systems and began sending a detailed status report to the Galactic Union. The message was long, technical, and filled with both caution and hope. This station, once a graveyard of alien ambition, could now serve as a beacon of human capability. Elias rested for a few hours, knowing the hardest part of survival was over. Yet he also knew that exploration, understanding, and responsibility would define his next steps. Humanity had proven itself capable. But the universe was vast and full of challenges. And as he closed his eyes, the station hummed quietly, alive, stabilized, and waiting for the next step in a journey that would change the galaxy forever. Elias Vorn stood in the station's central hub, watching the energy core pulse steadily. Every system hummed in harmony, drones moved calmly, and the alien consoles glowed with soft light. The station was alive again. But Elias knew this was only part of the journey. The real test lay ahead. The station's AI, or what remained of it. Though he had stabilized systems, repaired machinery, and restored environmental functions, the AI contained the heart of the station. The collective intelligence of the alien crew. To fully unlock the station's potential, he would need to interface directly with it. Elias approached the central console cautiously. Symbols shifted and rearranged as he drew near, almost as if the station recognized his presence. He took a deep breath. The interface was unlike anything human. A complex web of light patterns, pulses, and shapes. But Elias had learned something during his time here. Humans had a unique ability to adapt, to think creatively, and to combine logic with intuition. He began interacting with the system. At first, it responded slowly, projecting holographic sequences of alien experiments, star charts, and energy manipulations. It tested him with logic challenges, puzzles that required rapid thinking, and scenarios where his solutions had immediate consequences. Each test was designed to push his mind to its limits. The first trial involved a containment sequence for the energy core. The AI presented multiple failures from the past, showing how previous attempts by the alien crew had led to catastrophic results. Elias studied the sequence, identifying patterns that the aliens had overlooked. Using human reasoning, he proposed a novel approach, rerouting energy through secondary conduits and introducing feedback loops. The station's systems surged as he applied the solution. Lights flickered, drones paused, and the core trembled, but then stabilized. A new pattern of light pulsed across the console, a sign of acknowledgement from the AI. Elias exhaled. "One down," he muttered. Next came a simulation of an alien reconnaissance mission gone wrong. Holographic images showed automated drones failing to navigate obstacles, energy surges destroying key equipment, and systems collapsing mid-operation. Elias analyzed the failures, then adjusted the simulation using his own understanding. He introduced redundancy in the navigation systems, stabilized the energy output, and optimized drone coordination. The AI responded immediately, altering the simulation in real time. Elias felt a rush of adrenaline as he adapted his solutions on the fly. For hours, he worked, solving problem after problem, proving to the station that human creativity could complement alien logic. Each success strengthened his connection with the AI. Finally, the ultimate challenge appeared. A lock protecting the station's knowledge archives and control of the self-replicating energy core. The code was unlike anything Elias had seen. It was not a sequence of numbers or letters, but a dynamic, evolving pattern of energy pulses, constantly changing in response to external inputs. Past alien crews had failed to decipher it, leaving it inaccessible for centuries. Elias studied the pattern. At first, it seemed impossible, chaotic beyond comprehension. But then he remembered something. Humans had a talent for lateral thinking, for seeing connections where others could not. He began experimenting, combining logical sequences with intuitive adjustments, matching the station's pulses with patterns he created in real time. Hours blurred together. The station quivered, as if it were alive, responding to his efforts. Elias's hands moved quickly across controls, adjusting energy flows, rerouting circuits, and stabilizing fluctuations. Sweat ran down his face, and his heart raced, but he refused to give up. Slowly, a rhythm emerged. The chaotic pulses began to align with his interventions. The lock responded to his thinking, not as a puzzle to be solved, but as a dialogue. Elias realized he was no longer just interacting with a machine, he was communicating with an intelligence, building trust, and earning recognition. Finally, with one last adjustment, the system stabilized completely. A soft hum filled the room as the energy core reached perfect harmony. The holographic interface shifted, revealing the station's full archives. Maps of distant star systems, advanced energy technologies, and detailed records of alien experiments. The AI pulsed a warm, steady light, acknowledging Elias as a worthy custodian. Elias slumped against the console, exhausted but triumphant. He had done what no alien crew could. He had survived, adapted, and restored the station. But more than that, he had proven that humans could master challenges once thought beyond their reach. The station, once abandoned and considered a death trap, was now fully operational under human guidance. Drones moved with purpose, systems responded instantly, and environmental controls maintained perfect balance. Elias realized the station was no longer just a structure, it was a testament to human ingenuity, resilience, and adaptability. He began sending reports to the Galactic Union. The knowledge contained within the station could transform human understanding of energy, technology, and space exploration. But Elias was careful. He knew that such power came with responsibility. Humanity had earned the chance to inherit this technology, but it must be used wisely. As he explored the restored station, Elias discovered more evidence of the alien crew's intentions. The station had been a hub for experimentation, exploration, and knowledge sharing. The aliens had reached far beyond their understanding, but their limitations had forced abandonment. Elias understood that humans could succeed where others had failed. Not through superior strength, but through creativity, adaptability, and persistence. He paused in one of the observation decks, looking out at the stars, stretching endlessly across space. The sight was breathtaking, a reminder of the vastness of the universe and the potential waiting for humanity. For a long time, he simply watched, feeling the hum of the station beneath him, alive and responsive, a silent partner in his achievement. The AI, now fully cooperative, projected a new message. A map of unexplored star systems, paths of energy flows, and simulations of technologies that humans could adapt. Elias smiled. This station was no longer just a relic. It was a bridge between alien achievement and human potential. Days passed as he continued to interface with the station. He optimized energy systems, upgraded drones, and explored hidden chambers filled with alien inventions. Each discovery was carefully documented. Elias felt a sense of pride, not just for his accomplishment, but for what humanity could achieve when ingenuity and courage were applied to the unknown. At last, he prepared to leave the station, but not before establishing it as a beacon. He activated long-range transmitters, sending signals to human space. Messages of discovery, knowledge, and a call for exploration. The station would serve as a hub for human ingenuity, a place where future generations could learn, experiment, and expand humanity's reach. Elias took one final look at the hub. The drones hovered silently, the energy core glowed steadily, and the AI pulsed in acknowledgement. "We did it," he whispered. Humanity had not only survived the station, they had mastered it. He returned to his shuttle, feeling a mixture of exhaustion and exhilaration. As he set course back to human space, he knew that this mission would change the course of human history. The station would serve as a symbol of what humans could achieve: survival, adaptation, and triumph over the impossible. The stars streaked past the shuttle's windows, and Elias allowed himself to imagine the possibilities. Humanity had proven that intelligence, courage, and creativity could conquer challenges that no one else could. He smiled, thinking of the future. Exploration, discovery, and the limitless potential waiting in the vastness of space. And behind him, the alien station thrummed with life, stable, alive, and ready to serve as a beacon of human achievement. A single human had faced death, conquered the impossible, and restored what had been lost. Humanity, through him, had triumphed. As the shuttle left orbit, Elias looked back one last time. The station's lights gleamed like a star of its own. The AI pulsed softly, sending a signal of cooperation across the galaxy. For the first time, Elias understood the full meaning of what he had accomplished. Humans were not just survivors in the galaxy, they were creators, innovators, and custodians of possibilities no one had yet imagined. Elias smiled, a quiet sense of pride filling him. Humanity had taken its place among the stars, proving that intelligence, courage, and creativity could turn the impossible into reality. The station would remain, a monument to human potential, a reminder that even in the vast emptiness of space, a single human mind could change the course of history. And somewhere deep within the station, the AI pulsed a steady rhythm, as if in agreement, humanity had arrived.